Welcome. YouTube's online. Instagram's online. Welcome, everybody. My name is Andrew. I'm one of the people behind the Alberta Craft Beer Guide. And today I'm going to do beer news. Haven't you figured this out by now? Every Thursday, 4 o'clock, this is when we do the beer news. You can't deliver the news about beer without drinking a beer. So, it's fortunate I met up with Angie from Manual Labor Brewing yesterday. Had a lovely little chat. And she wanted some beers featured on the beer news. I was like, I'm the perfect guy to do that. So here we have Purple Ribbon, which is one of their newest releases. This is a Czech style Pilsner. If you don't know, Manual Labor is out in Sherwood Park. It's about a 4-minute drive from 70 Acre. So you can go visit two breweries when you're in Sherwood Park, just east of Edmonton. Czech Pilsners, you got to pour them in a dimpled mug. Unfortunately, the only dimpled mug I have is a PBR mug. Shout out to Calder for that one. One day I'll get one of those tail gunners, or I think Establishment has one now too. Slow Pour's got their pilly mugs. But hey, you do what you got to do. I think it was apprehended from a local establishment. I didn't ask the details. Just, I got the mug. I'm happy to have the mug. How's everyone doing on this fine, lovely afternoon? 'Tis a lovely day to do all the news. Oh my God. Well, this smells great. What's up, Far? Guten Tag. By the way, Far, if you have any beer news, send it to me. I just can't do the research on everyone. I do the research from Edmonton, Calgary, and a few other breweries. Anyway, cheers, everyone. Czech Pils, Manual Labor, in a PBR glass. Wow. Okay, that's a great beer. Damn. Pilsner malt and light crystal malt, Saaz hops, of course, balanced water chemistry, and Czech Pilsner yeast. I love this this little copy on here. Didn't win today? You can still celebrate with this traditional Czech Pil. Bright color and clarity, Saaz hops infused with a light spiciness native to the style, while the pale malts deliver crackery symmetry in this light, refreshing brew. That was a great beer. This is a great beer. Anyway, get your ass out to Sherwood Park. I know they got it in a few stores across Edmonton as well. So check Pilly. Let's get into the news, shall we? By the way, not only are we streaming on Instagram, we're streaming on YouTube. So that's we haven't done that. I don't think I've done that before. So we'll figure that out. Let's get into it, shall we? Thursday, March 7th, 2 minutes after the hour. We're going to do Edmonton news in Calgary, then the rest of Alberta. So in Edmonton beer news, Ale Architect is now hiring for a taproom server and bartender position. I know their taproom is usually bussing. So if you're ready for that, get it. Alley Cat has a new beer called Ride the Storm, like riding, but it's rye. It's a rye IPA, Ride the Storm. Arcadia had an interesting semi-announcement. Not too many details, but they basically said they have a new initiative titled Time for Kindness, where they're shifting their focus from pints for profits to pints for people. Starting on April 1st, all of Arcadia Brewing's net profits will be reinvested directly into the community. Cool. That's great. Yeah, I know they're very active in communities, lots of different communities, especially ones that need help. And great. If you can drink good beer and do good with said profits, then why not? Good for you, Darren and Arcadia. Blind Enthusiasm has a new beer coming out next week. If you get a ticket to the little tasting experience. So this beer is called Homage to the Old Ones. This is a 4-year-old spontaneous blend. My God, this is a lot of work. So, excuse me. I think I'm just finally getting over this sickness. Beers will cure you, right? One can hope. All right, Blind Enthusiasm putting up this beer next week. It's called Homage to the Old Ones. It's a 4-year-old spontaneous blend. So they had their beer fermenting in wine barrels. After blending and bottling, it spent another year conditioning and cellaring in bottle. That blend has balance and poise in its acidity and texture, deep wine, leather, and tobacco flavors, and a complex range of fruit and floral aromatics. So, if you want to be a part of this beer, the first people that can taste it is on March 14th, a week from today. You get a little ticket, there's a little launch experience. You can try it and buy it, and then it's available to the public a week later on the 21st. So they bring in like the brewers in there and they talk about it, the art, and all that stuff. It's a cool little experience. What's up, Bo River? What else is on here? Yo, Legends of. All right, Campio has a new beer, Peach and Nectarine Sour. This is a full-bodied, distinctively sour and funky beer with some stone fruit sweetness that will have you thinking you're drinking a bottle of fuzzy peaches. Funky fuzzy peaches. Sounds so bad. It's a 50-50 blend of two of their fooders from the barrels in the Campio cellar, half sour red ale and half Brettanomyces blonde. These were then pushed into fruiting tanks on top of a huge pile of peaches and nectarines from Steve and Dan's Fresh BC Fruit until the wild ale's magic was complete. So very limited bottles of that. Growlery, I was told this last week, and they said Friday it came out. What they meant was a week later. So they're putting out an Italian-style Pilsner this Friday called Birra di Berta. Great name. Irrational has a new beer, or alluding to a new beer. They haven't made their official post yet. I think they will today. Called, it's OPE, Midwest IPA, one of their experimental series. Again, these beers, they're only doing a few kegs of them. They're playing with different techniques, and then they're gone. They've been really good so far. Polyrhythm is celebrating their first birthday on March 15th. They are hinting at a big special beer to be determined, to be announced. I guess I set up my props the wrong way. I got all these coasters here. But anyway. What else we got? Beer Revolution does a cask night every Friday at 5 p.m. If you don't know by now, the Alberta Beer Festival's Edmonton Beer Fest is in town this March 8th and 9th, this Friday and Saturday. There's a Friday and Saturday night session and also a Saturday afternoon session. That is all at the Edmonton Expo Center. I think you can get tickets for as low as $20 as like a GA. And it should be exciting. There should be a lot of breweries there. There's a bunch of breweries from Calgary and across Alberta there as well. So I'm looking forward to saying hi to some people. What else we got? Oh, and last but not least, Square Sheep Films is a local documentary filmmaker. They did a docuseries on Edmonton breweries, and their first episode came out today. The first episode was going to be on Asymmetrical Brewing, but as you know, Asymmetrical closed their doors basically at the end of 2023. So while the documentary was being filmed, the ownership made the decision to close the brewery. So I guess there's very candid information from a couple of the owners in an interview about why they decided to close their doors, what worked, obviously what didn't work, and all that. So it's interesting. You can go to Square Sheep Films. You can rent them. I think it's like $5. You can, access it for 48 hours, and then for 15 you can just purchase it. But I believe there's like 20 episodes. I don't know if they're quite to 20. But basically, there's an episode on like a different brewery in Edmonton, and they're going to release them every Thursday moving forward. So it should be interesting. The first episode is kind of, the trailer is hinting at it's very kind of gloom and doom. I mean, it's a brewery closing, but they also have commentary from Jason Foster, who's a brilliant beer writer, and he is kind of sharing his insights on how the industry could be challenged this year. I have some counterpoints. I've got a podcast coming out soon. I think breweries are doing very well, will continue to do very well, and there's lots of opportunity. I think breweries that have been struggling, and, if they're not making big changes, then, it's like sink or swim kind of thing. So interesting. 14 episodes. Thank you, Square Sheep. 20 seemed like too many. 14 episodes. Appreciate it. Anyway, that's that for Edmonton news. Now 9 minutes after the hour, we're going to dive into Calgary news. Calgary. Annex. Oh, let's do a quick little break. Shout out to manual labor. Damn. I'm really enjoying this. Czech Pilsner. Purple ribbon. But you showed up late, forgot to do your stretches, failed to execute the plan, came in second place, or finished dead last today. Beer tastes better earned. I like their phrases. They have like, I don't know, they give me little stickers and pins and stuff. Work hard, drink beer. Great. I can get behind that. All right, Calgary News. Annex Ales brought back Staircase Wit, which is a wheat ale at 5.2%. It is brewed with orange peel and coriander in the boil, fermented with Cara orange, and hopped with Hallertau Blanc hops. So this beer was well worth the wait. It is their spring and summer seasonal, and it's their North American twist on a French Blanche, which will be sticking around until fall. It's hazy, orange forward, refreshing, and delicious. Yum. The weather's about to change, and honestly, I felt it today. I was outside earlier, and it was hella cold, and then when I was coming back, I was sweating. Just overdressed. So, anywho, spring comes. I want to drink wit. I want to drink saison. I want to drink. Who am I kidding? I want to drink Czech Pilsners year round. Best of Kin is doing a Belgian beer tap takeover on Saturday, March 16th. 20 breweries involved, most of them Alberta breweries. That looks like a cool event. Born Brewing has a new beer called Untenable Space Hazy IPA with using the Pink Boots hop. So if you didn't know, International Women's Day is this week, and so there's a lot of breweries that are brewing a Pink Boots beer, or they've already brewed one and they're launching them this week. So this kind of touches on that. Untenable space is the idea that women tend to occupy spaces that are more politicized, less comfortable, and which require more work on their part to reside in. This is also true of all marginalized people. Their goal in brewing for this International Women's Day beer is to create a conversation around who currently takes up space in the brewing industry and how to create space for those who are currently underrepresented. Untenable Space was made in collaboration with Born's Pals and fellow women-led brewery Annex Ales. This hazy IPA is chock full of tropical fruit and sweet berry aromas. Light on the palate with low bitterness, this community-oriented hazy won't be around for long. That sounds great, both in cause and recipe. Brewster's has a new beer. It says it's a new recipe, a new version of their oatmeal stout. Embrace the darkness with its rich coffee aroma, silky smooth texture, and a caramel malty finish. Heck this. Buffalo 9. Check out Buffalo 9 Brewing. They're building out their tap room, and they've got a mug club going on right now. So go check that out. They're kiln-fired clay mugs imported from Germany. Yum. Burn Block Social is now open. If you missed the news, I'm here to inform you. The formal Revival Brewcade space was closed at the beginning of the year. Burn Block Social wanted to do renos for 4 weeks. It took 8, but the space looks great. They're open. They've got 9 beer on tap, a Homestead Helles Lager, Godspeed Stout, Violets at Dawn, which is a blueberry basil ale. Color My World is a hazy IPA, nice and easy is an IPA. Summer Breeze is a sour with mango, peach, pineapple, and coconut. They've got Squeezed a Day IPA with blood orange, lactose, and tropical hops. They've got a Lavender Haze sour. I haven't had a beer with lavender in it for quite some time. It's a Berliner Weiss with guava and lavender. And they've got the Hüge Old Spiced Amber. And that beer uses rose hips, grains of paradise, star anise, and clove. So lots of really interesting beers to check out. Oh, Farbury, in reference to your summer drinks comment. Yes, Hefeweizen. I'm not waiting until summer to drink Hef. I will drink Hef year-round. But yes, spring, summer, Hef all day. Or if you're in Bavaria, drink one for breakfast. It is the tradition. It's true. Burn Block Social is now open Monday through Thursday. It's open 7 days a week. Just go check them out. Looks like a cool space. Cabin Brewing has a brand new beer called Sure Shot. And this one seems weird, but I want to try it, but it really seems weird. This is a collaboration with Sea Change, and it is a West Coast Pale Ale with coffee. I don't think I've ever had a West Coast Pale Ale with coffee. Prove me wrong. So they use Rwandan golden hour beans from Calgary's Rosso coffee roasters. That gives notes of lemon, brown sugar, and Darjeeling tea. Cold brew was added to the beer as it fermented before it was run through dry. Whole beans for a touch more aroma. It pours a tantalizing orange hue with floral aromas of orange marmalade, lime blossom, and bergamot blooming from the glass. It's tough to tell where the cold brew bright notes end and the West Coast hop aromas begin. Just picked up Sure Shot on the way home. Review will be out tomorrow. Yeah, send me a note or tag me in it or something. This intrigues me. Coffee in West Coast. I don't know. But, I mean, Taylor, one of the owners, the brewer over at Sea Change, he's a big coffee guy. He's a big beer nerd, of course. So this intrigues me. Cold Garden has a new beer called Frostbite, which is a cold black IPA. Wow, combining black IPA and cold IPA. Make a cold black IPA. Great. So brewed with de-bittered black malt, giving it a rich dark hue and a bit of the roasty toasty on the first sips. Love it. Their coffee is so good. This bitter baby was fermented with lager yeast and lagered long, so it's got that crispy finish that the kids are all talking about around the water cooler. That's the cold IPA part. How is it an IPA if it's lager? Doesn't matter. Anything can be an IPA. Welcome to 2024. This beer is piled with Amarillo and Citra in the boil and heroic dose in a dry hop, so it's fruity as a summer day in a pineapple patch. Dank citrus, pineapple, and a bit of crisp, cool mango at the end. It's like taking a bite out of a chilled, grilled tropical fruit salad. Brewed by Paul Heslop to celebrate his title as the Home Brewer of the Year in last year's Yeast Wranglers Homebrew Competition. So it's a proven good recipe. Cold black IPA. Who knew? Also, Cold Garden does their Crafty Mondays this coming Monday, the 11th. Paint a birdhouse. Get a ticket online, get a pint, and paint a birdhouse. Why not? Drink half, make birdhouses. Spring is in the air. Dandy Ales. Okay, we saw some announcements last week and the week before about people bringing back or having a beer engine in their tap room so they can do cask ale and you pump it. Dandy Ales has two. They just installed two. So they're hinting at, having golden, what do they say? Golden times and this and that. Anyway, I know they'll bring back GBD, Golden Brown Dandy. It's just a great British beer. And when it's poured on a cask engine, lower carb, it's balanced. It's like English pales are just, they're great. You get more herbal and grassy hops. You get, like biscuity malt, and then you get kind of a fruity yeast, and it just balances. Wow. Anyway, my prediction, GBD is on cask at Dandy soon. Write that down. 88 has a new beer called Nonstop Grapefruit Yuzu IPA. Yum. Got to get my hands on a better branded Dimple mug. Anyway, it's a Dimple mug. You drink a Czech Pilsner, you got to drink it out of a Dimple mug. That's the rules. All right, 88, Nonstop Grapefruit Yuzu IPA. This is part of their small batch series. Again, you're seeing that a lot, especially this time of the year. A lot of people putting out small batches, and you're just testing and trying. And you just look at the numbers, and you go, oh my God, that one sold this, and that one sold this. Maybe we'll make that one in our summer release where it's busier, or make it into a full-time beer. Who knows? So, Grapefruit Yuzu IPA, crispy with a super light malt bill and just the right amount of complexity. Hopped with a classic West Coast combo of Columbus, Cascade, Amarillo, and El Dorado. And they added more bitterness with fresh grapefruit peel in the whirlpool. They dry hopped with more Amarillo, Cascade, and El Dorado before getting out the grapefruit and yuzu to boost the citrus. It's crisp, it's bitter, it's pleasantly citrus. That sounds great. Notice this trend? Remember this, marketers kill everything. It was all hazies, and then everyone had one, or everyone had five, and it was like, there's no difference in a bunch of them. And now they're leaning back into West Coast hops and West Coast styles. There's also the supply and demand of hops and how things go. I don't know, it's interesting. Establishment Brewing is doing an International Women's Day beer release party tomorrow, March 8th. Free entry party and fundraiser for Skipping Stones. It's from 5 to 11. They'll have a small queer femme local makers market. Plus, they'll be showing the film Polystyrene, I Am a Cliche. I believe that's at 9 o'clock, and it should be awesome. Evil Corp Brewing has a new beer called Jalapeno Code, which is a jalapeno pilsner. A juxtaposition of crisp, flavorful beer combined with the spicy heat and fresh aroma of a jalapeno. It doesn't seem right, but trust him, it works. If there was a penal code for libations, this ale may well have ended up behind bars. Either way, some rules are made to be broken. And if you had to do time, there's no better beer to serve your sentence with. Is that how jail works? I mean, if you're like white collar crimes, you just go to jail with a bunch of beers, right? Last Best has a new beer called Kindred, Kindred 1957, which is a porter. It's an English ale with a balanced malt-focused flavor. Look for hints of toffee, black coffee, and dark chocolate. So they say it's a porter, but it's an English ale. An English porter? Anyway, a little confusing. But $1 from every 16-ounce beer will be donated to Kindred, Alberta. Kindred was originally founded in 1957, hence the name, Kindred 1957. It's on the belief that all Calgarians, regardless of where they come from, where they pray, who they love, or how much money they have, deserve access to high-quality, affordable counseling. Great cause. Beautiful. OT. This is fascinating news. OT has a collaboration beer with, I don't even know how to say this, Cerveja? Oh, Brazil speaks Portuguese. I don't know how to speak Portuguese or pronounce it. Cerveja? Anyway, it's a brewery in the state of Rio, Brazil. I guess people from OT were recently in Brazil. They did this collaboration, had this inspiration. Wanderlust Tropical Stout. They do a blend to represent both northern and southern flavors America has to offer, like North America and South America. So it's packed with, coming from the north, maple syrup, and coming from the south, exotic tonka beans, also known as kumaru, soaked in cachaça. Yum. This unique stout offers vanilla, cinnamon, nutty, and woody notes on a chocolate and coffee body. Alluring aromas and flavors are sure to make you desire more than one. Damn. I'll try that out. PBR mug rocks. Dimples, baby. You need the dimples for a Czech Pilly. I don't know if I've had a Brazilian beer, have I? Biggest beer brand in Brazil. There's an alliteration for you. Oh, Brahma, Antarctica, and Bohemia and Skol. I don't know if that's Bohemia. Is that a Skol? Who knows? Anywho, Royal Yard Brewing is hiring a brewer. Gotta have some experience, but there you go. Stony Slope Brewing has a new-ish beer. It's their Keptonis beer, but it's their West Coast version of it. So they took an old world style, the Keptonis, added some new world hops to create something bold and exciting. The Keptonis brings a full-bodied caramel base balanced out with a sharp cascade bitterness. This is really interesting too. Keptonis is this, and correct me if I'm wrong, is this old world style of, I don't know anyone else who's brewed this kind of beer. After you mash in, you pull the mash out and you bake it in an oven, and it develops these extra layers of flavors, and then you continue on with your boil and brew the rest of it. Interesting, but add West Coast hops to it. Why not? Why not? Cabin and Sea Change did it with West Coast coffee beer. Do West Coast whatever you want. I feel like we're going to kill West Coast this year. Damn it, I like West Coast. Tail Gunner has a new beer called Sante French Pilsner. Crafted with the same care and precision as a French pâtissier making a croissant. Only less flaky and way more hoppy. It's got notes of oui, oui, mon ami, which is like, yes, yes, my friend. And a finish smoother than a mime escaping an imaginary box. French Pilsner. I want to try it. That sounds great. Tool Shed is doing their small batch Friday. So last Friday they put out Tractor Pull, which is a rye saison at 6.8%. Goddamn. Get this for a copy. They throw it out there and then they just don't come back to it. Take it and deal with it. Tractor Pull, rye saison. Riding a tractor naked through a field of rye in the Belgian countryside. That is the essence of this brew. Freedom, I guess. Balanced floral, herbal, and fruity aromas with some spiciness gives this rye saison a refreshing, highly drinkable, and crisp character, yet with a rich mouthfeel. Ride a tractor naked through a field of rye. That's a vibe. Village has a new beer called Passion Fruit Pale Ale at 4.9%. This is using the 2024 Pink Boots Hop Blend, using the specialty hop blend from Yakima Chief. In addition to a generous dosage of passion fruit juice, this gives way to tropical aromas with a balanced flavor combination of sweet and sour. The approachable hop profile is immersed in a smooth, unfiltered body. And last but not least, in Calgary news, Zero Issue has a brand new beer they put out last week called Arrakis. I'm not sure. Dark cinnamon and blueberry sour. Yum. All right, Alberta-wide news at 27 minutes after the hour. 948, 2 new beers this week. I know basically every other brewery would be like, oh, we'll put out this one this week, one next week, stagger them, keep people coming back, blah, blah, blah. Nah, not 948. Bug it. 2 new beers this week. Nanaimo Bar Porter. That sounds great. A friend of mine, CBC award-winning journalist Travis McKeown, messaged me that he had a Nanaimo Bar Stout at Slow Pour yesterday, and it was just top-notch. And then this news shows up, so this intrigues me. Nanaimo Bar Porter from 948. Creamy custard, coconut, and chocolate. Definitely a dessert beer. Here. Also, Up All Night Coffee Porter. A collaboration with Calgary's Chronicle Coffee Company. 948 hot steeped, fresh roasted espresso coffee for a mild kick of caffeine in this well-balanced porter. I like coffee in beers. I don't drink coffee. I'll always try it every once in a while. I think it's just too acidic and thin and unbalanced for me, but I like what it does in beer. Manual Labor. It's a little, got the new fresh tee. By the way, this t-shirt is actually great. They give me some swag. I'm just a little, we said hi. I got a shirt. It's great. Bella Canvas, very soft. I'm feeling myself. Manual Labor has a new beer called Hey Buddy. It is a Pink Boots cider. So it's on tap this Friday, so tomorrow, March 8th, to celebrate International Women's Day. They used a 2024 Pink Boots hops blend to dry hop this delicious dry cider. So the hop blend is Autumn, Eldorado, HBC 638, and Idaho. Basically, it just adds flavors of berry and citrus with some peppery earthiness and floral aroma. A totally crushable, crisp cider. Best of all, the proceeds from the hops goes towards the Pink Boots Society, an organization that aims to assist, inspire, and encourage women and non-binary individuals in the fermented alcoholic beverage industry. Lovely. A couple more notes for Alberta-wide. Red Heart, just outside of Red Deer, turns 5 on... Wow. That blows my mind. Red Heart's 5. Red Heart turns 5 on Friday, March 15th. Right, because they did open like right in time for St. Patty's Day. Wild. They'll have poutine from Cilantro and Chive. They'll have music from the Fallow Years, and they'll have a What's Up Peaches cask. That sounds like a great way to kick off the St. Patrick's Day weekend. And then another reminder, Siding 14 is closing their doors at the end of March. They hit 7 years. They're like, hey, we just can't turn a profit. Times are tough. Couldn't sell the brewery or the business. They're like, we're hanging up our hats. You know what happens. But if you do want to visit them, if you haven't been yet, or you want to go one last time, or 12 or 14 last times, they are closing at the end of March. And that's it for Beer News. Thanks for tuning in. You can catch this every Thursday live streaming on Instagram and YouTube. And the videos will stay up. You can watch them and enjoy and go and drink some Alberta beers and do all that lovely jazz. I'll talk to you later. Ta-ta, Instagram, and adios, YouTube.